Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, guys. Celtic Warband here, and today I am bringing you another siege. This is a siege in Rome 2 Total War. It is a 3 versus 2, I believe, or no, it's a 4 versus 3, sorry, an even bigger siege. And it is the Siege of Carthage. Now, this isn't going to be part of my epic battle series, just because it wasn't too close, or it wasn't really anything that I wanted for one of my historical battles, but it is technically a historical battle, so we'll just kind of give a little bit of a background. So this is the siege in the Third Punic War. It was 146 BC, and it was the final defeating blow to Carthage. And surprisingly, the city had about 400,000 inhabitants, and at the end of the siege, Rome had slaughtered 350,000 of them and then enslaved the remaining 50,000. Now, there was 30,000 defenders, but the attacking size of the Roman armies was not known. If I was to guess based on my research, I'd probably put it at somewhere between 60 and 80,000 men. Now, I know that seems a little high for you guys, but this is Carthage we're talking about. This was a very, very massive city. It was well defended. Just a little interesting history that I actually picked up that I did not realize is that during the period of the siege, which actually lasted for 2 years' time, the 500,000 Carthaginians inside the wall, or 400,000 rather, were able to transform the city into a massive arsenal, and they actually produced about 300 swords, 500 spears, 140 shields, and over 1,000 projectiles for catapults every day. So that is just insane. Like, I'm sure that a lot of the infantry was well supplied throughout this siege with their weaponry. So yeah, you could see that we're already pushing up onto the walls, which is excellent. I think we have some time to take a look at the army compositions before we dive deeper into the battle. So my army is over here, and I'm already claiming the walls. I've got about 6 units of legionary cohort, and then way back here I've got 4 units of eagle cohort, my most elite infantry. And then we've got 3 units of auxiliary Syrian archers, and I have a Roman ballista here. And I've got I've got a legatus over here, and then 2 units of legionary cavalry. And then I have some elephants over here hiding in the trees. So that's pretty much my army. I'm going to kind of look at my allies as a whole for their army. But we've got some Praetorians coming up on the walls over here. Principes, we got some legionary cohort legionaries, more auxiliary Syrian archers. We got one of the legatuses over here as well. More armored legionnaires. And we got some Hastati over here, too. Very, very cost-effective unit. I just had a little bit more money, so I didn't really need to bring them. We got some Soci Equite Extraordinari for Cav, 2 units. We got some Principes over here. So pretty much a well-rounded army. We got some Praetorian Guard over here as well. So see, I didn't bring any Praetorian Guards, so that's where these players kind of brought some more expensive infantry and then filled it in with Hastati later on. And they've got some heavy onagers over here, but they've pretty much used all their ammo. And some auxiliary cavalry back there. One of the allies is already in. He's got all his armored legionnaires here. Looking at the Carthaginians, they've got some hoplites over here. They did have some archers, but they got caught up on the walls. And you can see actually here that we've got some Praetorians fighting these archers. The only problem with that is that I have my tortoise here that's going to be blasting a massive hole in this wall. And you can see that, you know, this is not going to end well for Carthage or Rome, unfortunately. There's going to be a lot of lives lost here. And I was not aware of this. I was focusing on my other tortoise and getting it into a good position. And there they go. Romans and Carthaginians alike lost off the wall. That was really frustrating to see. As the smoke clears, the tortoise will be the main culprit there. But yeah, I'm sorry. I really apologize if my ally there is watching. I was not aware that that was happening. I was more focused on this one because it was being a little glitchy, not getting to the wall properly. But yeah, if we turn the HUD back on, so he does have some Libyan infantry on the walls that will hold for a little while. And then their defense is kind of spread around the city. We've got some Libyan infantry over here. They have an excellent view with this Carthaginian Scorpion down this long road, so hopefully they'll be able to get some good shots there. But there's a lot of pikes in this defense as well. You can see we've got 2 units of African pikemen here. More Libyan infantry, more pikes, mercenary noble fighters over there. We'll see them in action. And then they've got a ton more infantry at the town center. Unfortunately, most of them are hidden from our view. As you can see, they're disappearing here. But basically just a lot of Carthaginian hoplites and African pikemen as well. But we could probably go ahead and turn this on to play. Let's take this from the Carthaginian standpoint. Looks like there's going to be a massive battle on these stairs here. That is a pretty cool shot. I don't know if they're just going to charge right down the stairs. Yes, it looks like they are. And the Praetorians are going to countercharge. So there we go. So the battle for the streets has already begun. I did cut out the bombardment phase just because nothing really happened aside from the bombardment of the city. So no real like tactical cav charging out or anything of that nature. For future videos, if you guys really want to see the bombardment phase, I can leave it in for you. I just understand that, you know, some sieges can be quite long, so I try to keep my videos to the shortest and sweetest time. But yeah, these mercenary noble fighters, they're definitely at a disadvantage. And the main reason for that is not only are they fighting Praetorian Guard, but you can see these velites here. They're actually, the noble fighters being on the stairs provides the perfect aiming ground for all of these, velites and archers. The Praetorians, you're not going to get too much friendly fire because they're at the bottom of the stairs, so that's well played there. You can already see, you know, the amount of bodies that are collecting on the steps, and none of those will be Roman. But, yeah, so over on my side, like I said, there was a little bit of a kind of a cluster for the walls. But this Libyan infantry just refused to break. I was actually quite impressed with how long they were lasting here. I've got 2 units of legionary cohort up here, and they are just not breaking anytime soon. That's really cool how the Carthaginians, like, a sword, give me a sword. Considering what we just talked about, I'm sure that there's probably some plebs or some of the lower class that are rushing around with weapons to reinforce the front lines and to resupply their warriors. But it looks like we got some Hastati coming in against these pikes. I'm going to go ahead and pop this to slow motion. You can see that they are in attacking testudo, which is pretty much making them invulnerable to any sort of missile fire at all. And I really like the fact that this player is using his Hastati correctly. He's putting them in first. And the good thing about that is that the defending army is wasting all of their ammo on this very, very cheap unit. Like, I think this unit's only 300 gold. Like, 300 denarii per Hastati unit. And they're also in attacking testudo. So this is a very, very good situation for us as Rome. But unfortunately, once they get onto those pikes, the Hastati are going to suffer quite a bit. Let's go ahead and actually jump into this unit here. I don't know what that is. Probably some kind of ability. Come on, Rome, push forwards. Yeah, not many kills for the Hastati at all. Or, sorry, not many kills on the Hastati. And that's a lot of archer fire wasted. Probably 5 or 7 volleys. And now they're going to charge in here. Let's kind of watch the initial struggle. Yeah, now they're getting some kills now that they pulled out of attacking testudo. Oh, and we got the elephants coming in as well. Wow. Wow, so going in early. I don't really like that, to be honest. They had a good enough defense here. I don't really think they needed to let loose the elephants at this stage of the game. especially against Hastati. These pikes are going to clean up against this Hastati, no problem. But regardless, it is pretty awesome to see the elephants pushing forwards as well. Yeah, let's jump out of there, kind of zoom up a bit, take another look at the battle. So yeah, we've got a good presence of Roman infantry on this flank. On these stairs, like I said, look how many of the Carthaginians are lying on the steps. If you... Oh my goodness, there's a foot. There's a leg there. Oh, that sucks. But yeah, if you look at all the bodies, like in this picture alone, I can count 3 purple capes, 4 in the corner, and all the rest belong to Carthage. So yeah, not looking good. Looks like we got a little duel here, a couple of Praetorians against one of these mercenary noble fighters. Is he gonna slay the Praetorian? Ooh. Oh, he's just gonna leave him, I guess. Oh, that is one lucky noble fighter. This guy's just probably saying his last prayers as more of the Roman infantry moves forwards. Alright, but let's get back to the battle. So let's take a look at what's going on here. Well, looks like we have some cav. Oh no, this is our archers. I was getting a little excited there. I thought we had caught some archers off guard. Looking over here, though, I'm doing very, very well against the infantry that are in this point. I apologize that I missed it, but I actually was able to destroy that scorpion very quickly with my cav. They weren't able to support with their infantry as quickly as they should have. And now I've got my eagle cohort moving up on the flanks here. I think they have a pila that they can throw as well. I'm not sure if they're going to throw it or not. Maybe they are. Yeah, here we go. Well, I was hoping we get a couple kills at that throw, but I guess not. But I'm flanking around with another unit of eagle cohort as well on this side. But they're moving back behind their pikes. I think that that's a smart idea. Is this Sacred Band here? No, it's just Carthaginian hoplites. But they've got this nice tiered defense here. They've got the African pikemen with the mercenary Cretan archers and the hoplites. The only problem is they've left kind of this gap here, which I'm going to try to exploit with my eagle cohort. But yeah, it looks like that scorpion is back up and running, and they're trying to fire. But I'm going to finish it off. And let's see what we got here. We got another good kind of hoplite pikeman wall. How we doing back over in this section? It's just a mob. Yeah, the FPS is pretty low over in this section of the battle. But yeah, unfortunately, it's pretty much a suicide charge on these pikes at this stage in the game. But it looks like he's pushed in his Principes, so they're going to withstand a little bit better against these pikes, but there's still going to be... This still favors the Carthaginians. It's going to be a bigger loss for Rome in the long run. Oh my goodness, how many units of pikes are here? Oh my goodness. We got to count. Oh, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 5 units of pikemen. Oh my goodness. I would just pull back if I was Rome over here. Maybe utilize these Syrian archers, try to break down the defense a little more. 5 units of archers. That's just suicide. But I'm bringing in my African elephants over here, as you can see. And I did try to flank around, but the Carthaginian player over here was very wise. He blocked me with his hoplites. Let's go ahead and try and jump into this battle here. I know it's a little bit framey, but it's a pretty big battle. I think there was about 12,000 troops on the battlefield. Engage! We are quick. But this eagle cohort is pretty elite, so I should expect them to kind of pull through this. Here's my elephants as well. I'm going to have to be really careful with my elephants, though, charging them in against those pikes. I don't know how well they're going to take that. Oh, but I've got a... No, this is my ally, actually, getting a beautiful charge with his Sociequite Extraordinari into the backs of these pikemen. So that's definitely going to weigh for their morale, especially with the fear factor of these elephants at play. This was a pretty big mistake for me, though. I probably shouldn't have pushed them in against the pikes like that. It's going to weaken their hit points quite a bit. Luckily, my ally was there with the cav quickly enough to break them. So yeah, that's just broken both the units. Excellent, excellent play there. And meanwhile, I'm kind of running through the streets with what's left of my infantry. I'm going to try to flank around this defense. And we've also got some more Sociequite Extraordinari on this flank. And then over here, again, good positioning with the archers. Getting some good flanking fire over here. One of the generals is actually over here getting fired upon. So they're going to have to be really careful over there. But just look how many men are in this one little section. Let's even try to get down into this. I don't know if we... There we go. And just look at the lines of Romans. Ready and waiting. They've got their Pila, but they're probably not going to throw just because of the presence of the Roman infantry blocking them. I don't know. I would say maybe pull back, but I guess, you know, once you're engaged, you're engaged. I just feel like this is it's a wasted cause against so many pikes. I would much rather just try to pepper them with archers. Oops. And let's take a look at the balance of power again. Yeah, it's moved heavily into our favor. It was pretty much in our favor the whole time, but now it's very much so. It's about 3/4, whereas before it was about 2/3. But most of the infantry is just right here for the Carthaginians, holding back the Romans. I would wait with this infantry. Yeah, good. I don't really think we need any more in here at this point. But over here, I'm starting to push my Eagle cohort against this very elite African pikeman unit. These pikes are just so hard to deal with. Like, the Eagle cohort have high hit points, so they would be good, because you can see that they're starting to penetrate in between the pikes. But it's just so frustrating to kind of see even an elite unit like the Eagle cohort just struggling against these pikes. I think they're definitely more overpowered than in Attila, for sure. Got some nice fighting, though, in between. Oh, no! He's killed the Roman! Push in! Avenge your brother! This guy's going ham over here. Oh, come on. You need to kill him. Wow, this guy's like just fighting off like four Romans. Okay, like 10 more seconds and then we're moving. If he doesn't die, I can't spend the whole battle watching this guy. He's getting pushed back, but oh, there you go. Yeah, hit him in the face with your shield. Oh my gosh, this guy. He's still alive too. Oh, whatever. We can't sit there for that long. Anyways, yeah. So I've got them, and I think I'm pushing. Yeah, I've got my elephants over here. I'm gonna bring them around and crush them into the backs of the African pikemen. That's a better use of elephants. And it looks like we got some Roman cavalry over here engaging the noble cavalry, one of the generals for Carthage. Interesting, interesting. Let's go ahead and put that back to normal speed. Oh, I think that's a lot of friendly fire from Scipio. Or no, out of nowhere. Looks like we got some mercenary noble fighters coming to save the general. Or no, this is Libyan infantry, my mistake. But we've also got some Roman cav over here that charged into some African pikemen. Just look at all this infantry that's just been waiting for the call. I just envision them here. This would be like the resupply yards. And all of them are kind of getting, you know, their spears sharpened, their new swords, new tunics, holes in their armor are repatched, new shields, and back to the battle. But yeah, it's just as I thought. A lot of the Roman infantry is starting to waver and break. It's too bad. They're firing whistling shot over here, but I don't really think that's going to affect the morale of the Carthaginians enough that it's worth it. Let's go ahead and put this back into slow motion here. Yeah, too many pikes in this area. This is a lost cause. So we got a couple of Carthaginians flanking around the Principes. And there they go. That's them breaking off the battlefield. So yeah, Carthage is pretty successful over here. I think it's just down to the amount of pikes that they have in this one area, though. But I'm really hoping that these Syrian archers do their job. What I probably would have done while the Romans were holding over here is to go through these little gates here and get them right up on the walls and have them fire down. That might have been a better option, and then had one of the infantry units kind of block so that they couldn't get up onto the walls. Like, obviously, they could get up and kind of flank around, but the Carthaginian player is playing smartly. He's bringing up his Libyan peltis onto the walls for the next assault. I think Rome is going to be a little bit more cautious at this point, though, and just kind of pepper them down. Meanwhile, on my side of things, though, we're doing quite well. I've got my African elephants into the backs of these pikemen. It's funny that the African elephants are fighting African pikemen. But where else would Rome get elephants from? Yeah, just swing at them with your trunks, knock them down. How terrifying would that be? I couldn't even imagine putting myself in their shoes. Being caught with the eagle cohort on one flank and then elephants right behind you. You know, these tusks like would be perfect for goring. Yeah, this would be like my worst nightmare in a battle right now. So there we go. We finally broken this flank as well. So I feel like I'm pretty effective on my side, especially with the help of the ally that was playing over here. He's doing very well in supporting me with his cav, with his archers, with his infantry. So at this point, we're pretty much pushing, as you can see, into the town square. Much of the city has been conquered. The Carthaginians do have some heavy war elephants, though, that we're gonna have to be very careful of. They just slipped out of view. And surprise, surprise, looks like we got some more African pikemen over here. They're kind of putting down another line of defense. We've also got some Libyan infantry that are charging to aid their brothers in arms. But it doesn't look like the legionary cohort is ready to throw themselves onto the pikes like that. There's the elephants. It looks like they're not going to engage at this time, which is probably a smart decision. There's not really enough men clumped up to utilize them properly. But over here, how we doing? Yeah, it looks like the Carthaginian pikes are starting to break. They've really been thinned out by a lot of arrow fire, which is excellent to see. And also probably the Pila as well. I'm sure the Pila throwing is just taking its toll. Unfortunately, a couple of the Romans that are holding back this horde are going to be slaughtered in the process, though. Wow. Did that break that other pike unit as well? No, it didn't. They're just pulling back. Okay, interesting, interesting. They're kind of reforming their lines here. But these, I'm going to put it on slow motion again, just to see if we can catch one of those epic Pila shots into this pike unit here. Are they not going to throw now, or do they even have any more? They might be all out. Even the Syrian archers don't look like they're firing anymore. They might all be out of ammo at this point. That's frustrating to see. But yeah, that's how I would have approached that position. Because now, you know, they're pretty much down to 2 units of pikes instead of 5. Oh, the only problem is they've actually got this Carthaginian Scorpion. They've got another one over here. Is this thing firing? Wonder how many kills these things got. Maybe that's what the archers up on the cliffs are focusing at. Are you firing, or? Oh, yes, yeah, they are. I think they're firing at the Praetorians over here that are in Testudo. Interesting, interesting. Alright, how are we doing over on this flank here? Pretty good. We're actually surrounding some of this Libyan infantry here, which is good. And again, being more cautious, we're just ripping apart this African pike unit with our archers. And it's already starting to waver. Wow. He's going to try to get into melee, but it's pretty much a lost cause at this point. Yeah, there they go. They are broken. And I think at this point I have my archers up here as well. Yes, I do. So I'm really going for some key targets here. This would be a nice spot in the battle. Nice and safe. You know, wait for the infantry to clear ahead of the city, and then you can just find a good choice position to fire your arrows at. I don't know exactly what they're firing at this point, but... Oh, they're firing over here. Yeah, so they're firing at this unit that's just come to reinforce. And look at that. They're just going to sit there and take that arrow fire. Ugh. Oh my goodness. So many of their men being slaughtered over here. If you're rooting for Carthage, this isn't a good sign. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, look at this. They keep trying to send more infantry to support, but I just keep cutting down these units with my archers. And it looks like we've actually got some infantry over here as well, fighting against another general unit of noble cavalry. And over on this flank, looks like they're still kind of taking the calm approach. Oh, excellent work here. Yes, so we've got the Syrian archers. They're up on the walls, and they're probably firing right down into the flanks of these pikemen. Let's see how they're doing. Yeah, good call. Yeah, why engage your pikemen with the infantry when you can just do this from afar? And unfortunately, the Carthaginians, they just have to take it or they need to push forwards. There's only 2 choices. And now these African pikemen, they're pretty heavily armored, but their hit points are going to be worn down over time. So eventually, they're just going to be dropping like flies. And I think, I don't know if these archers, yeah, they're still firing as well. So they're probably firing into the Praetorian Guard. but that's not going to get them too far. Meanwhile, over here, looks like the African elephants have engaged a unit that was trying to come support in the square. What we got here? Just some... oh, we got some eagle cohort from my ally. Let's go ahead and put this on slow motion. Watch them fighting the elephants. That looks pretty awesome. Sorry guys, I'm trying to get some good camera angles for you, but these buildings are hard. There you go. That's not a bad shot. Yeah, just swing your trunk and knock them down. There you go. Oh my goodness, look at the size of these animals compared to the infantry. Yeah, they're just gonna run through them for sure. Oh, it looks like we got another general over here. I don't know how many generals are still alive. I think one of them was slain by my archers at this point, so I think we just have 2 left. And this one's actually getting fired upon by some peltis. For my infantry, you can see my infantry is lined up there. Oh my goodness, this guy took like 20 Pila. Oh, he needs to get his noble cavalry away here, or he's going to lose another general. Yeah, but you can see my infantry kind of lined up inside the square. It's neutral ground right now, which is interesting. Neither one of us is able to take the town center from the other. So we're all just kind of waiting here. I'm kind of waiting for Carthage to make the first move, to be honest. Just because a lot of my infantry is very, very tired. And my infantry is outnumbered. You can see just the sheer presence of Carthaginians here. Got some mercenary Samnite warriors. Let's take a look at them. I don't think we missed them in the army comp look. I believe these are Iberian. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they're of Iberian descent. These mercenaries. Look how shiny they are, though. Oh my goodness. But yeah, we've got some noble fighters as well. Some hoplites, more Samnite warriors. Ton more Libyan infantry. A lot of these haven't even seen battle yet. But over here, unfortunately, the Carthaginian defense is just falling apart. And a lot of these Praetorians are still pretty healthy. And they're also taking the fight to the wall. We got some Gallic warriors over here. It's really interesting how Carthage, most of their troops were actually, you know, levied from their vassals. They didn't really field a lot of Carthaginian troops per se. It was mostly like we're seeing right now, just a lot of Libyan infantry. We got some Gallic warriors. We got some Samnite warriors. Got a burning warrior right there. Oh, this fight for the walls, though, on these steps is pretty gruesome. Oh my goodness, a lot of them actually getting destroyed by the arrow tower. But I think it's safe to say that we are going to be taking this battle. The balance of power is heavily, heavily in our favor. Looks like they're starting to push onto my ranks here. We've got the elephants also pushing into the flanks of my troops, which is not good. But I've got my elephants coming in as well. I'm not going to push them head in, though, just because of the pikes that are pushing forwards. I'm going to try and get them around the flank a little bit and then come in from behind. Hold, infantry. Hold against these pikes. That's a pretty cool shot as well. You got the Roman lines with the Carthaginian city ready to be burned. Here come my elephants. I thought about engaging their elephants with my elephants, but unfortunately theirs are much more elite than mine are. So yeah, I'm going to try to swing them through and then bring them on back. There we go. We got some elephants pushing in now against this Libyan infantry here. Yeah, that's right. Push forwards. Pop this back onto play. Only 4 minutes left in this battle. Yeah, I think the Carthaginians are just throwing whatever they can at this final defense, but I don't think I've had a more epic battle for the center like this battle. It was pretty much just all or nothing, both sides giving it their all. Oh, there goes one of my elephants. Oh, that sucks. When it should fall down like that, I think it should kill like 30 warriors. But I think most of the Carthaginians are, yeah, vanquished over here. Excellent. We've got a general over here. I'm not sure if this general is paying attention, but he's about to get caught. Or maybe he's going, yeah, he's just going to get out of there. That's a smart decision. But I've got a couple units of infantry coming in from behind as well. So really just pushing on all flanks. Their elephants are berserk at this point, so they're really just slaughtering a lot of their own men as well. And he is coming over towards our infantry, so I'm focusing with my Syrian archers to try to destroy them as quickly as possible. Yeah, there we go. Last of them was slain. Now we've got the cavalry pushing into the center. Just some epic, epic scenery for the ending of this battle. If we move over to this side as well, you can see my Roman infantry holding back so many of the Carthaginians. And the dark shapes in the background, you can see those are Roman as well. So we finally made it to all sides of the city, and we're pushing in on all flanks now. So the Carthaginians are pretty much surrounded. Let's give you guys just a good overview of the square. Oh, there's something about just a square with a massive statue in it. It's just the best to battle around. I don't know what it is, but it's the same in 1212. Every time I fight in Constantinople, I always try to get a couple of good cinematic shots with the square with the, I think it's Neptune. It's the massive statue of Neptune. But yeah, so at this point they're pretty much surrounded. Their battle lines are all in disarray. We're going to be able to flank them on all sides. Down to the last minute and a half. And these warriors are starting to get surrounded. Look, the elephant's just in the background, dead. Everyone's just battling around it. So yeah, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this Siege of Carthage. It wasn't a close one, but the Carthaginians put up a very valiant stand. Unfortunately, just the Romans, you know, being in Rome too, Romans are OP, so they usually do very well as attackers in a siege. There goes the rally. That's Scipio giving the final rally, just letting everyone know that we've almost taken the city. And these poor mercenary units are going to die here today. They're not going to receive their pay. Very, very epic battle. I've definitely spoiled you guys with sieges lately. I'm going to look to get a couple of land battles out just to kind of even things out on my channel. I don't like to focus on one thing too much. But I'm liking. Hopefully, you guys are liking that I'm getting some Rome 2 content, some 1212, some Attila. I really want to focus across all of the Total Wars because I really just love to play them all. But yeah, there we go. Last of the units breaking. Got the wall artillery breaking. And there we go. Costly victory, but a victory nonetheless. Let's take a look at the results. So here are the 4 allies here that were the Romans, and here were the 3 enemies. Thanks very much to all of you for partaking. So we'll take a look at the first army here. Not too bad. Those Sistati basically did nothing against those pikes, which sucks. The Principe is also not getting many kills. Yeah, a couple of his Extraordinary did well, and his Triarii did solid. Looking at Duck Wizard, did well with his Slingers. His Praetorians did okay, and his Armored Legionaries did okay. For my army, Elephants doing insane, but they always do. Archers alright. Eagle Cohort, not bad. My Legionaries, not bad as well. So good, solid kills. And we've got the final player doing excellent with his archers. His infantry also not too bad. His Praetorian unit, 110 kills. And then looking at the Carthaginians, 122 by their elephants. This African pikeman unit, yeah, 260. We got 150 here. His infantry, not so good, though. And then 301 by another elephant unit. Pikes, 163. So, yeah, the pikes really did kind of dealt the damage here. Mercenary Noble Fighters, 117. Not bad. And then pretty much useless archers. They didn't get any kills. But not bad with his infantry. It's okay, I would say. These African pikemen kind of suffered. But yeah, thanks very much for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this epic siege of Carthage. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to see more content in the future. And I will see you in the next one.